Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamshasanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Bande Jagadguru. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. I salute Bhagavan Sri Krishna, Vasudeva, the son of Vasudeva, the destroyer of the demons Kamsa and Chanura, and the lead Guru of the world, our eternal Guru of the world and the Lord of the universe. I salute him again and again. Om peace, peace, peace. So we are book number 3 and then chapter 21, and we start verse number 9. Where the chapter started, the Prajapati's creative role. The Kardama did tapas, austerity, and that austerity helped him to visualize the Lord Narayana appeared before him and gave the boon to create further, to be a part of the total creation. So we read the chapter started, 21 chapter started. Kardama was doing austerity. So that story runs like that. The Vidura was asking this question asking that how did Priyabrata and Uttanapada, son of Swayam, who was Manu, rule this earth with his 7 islands, observing the rules of dharma, etc. So Maitri said, being ordered by Brahma to engage himself in producing children, the noble Kardama went to the bank of Saraswati and he performed tapas for 10,000 years. And having failed to realize the Lord by mere austerities, Kardama then took to the path of devotion, consisting of worshipping, singing, and chanting the divine name. Thus, these generated in him an intense love for God. And it is Kardama, he took refuge in Hari, who grants all desires of those who surrender to him. So it is the Lord, this Kardama surrendered everything to Lord Krishna, Narayana, and to have some offspring. Brahma wanted that the world should be filled with children. So, being very much pleased with Kardama, the Bhagavan, the Supreme Being, revealed in the Vedas, showed himself to him in a form of glory, constituted of Satchidananda, suited to the age of Satya Yuga. So, Kardama's vision, she saw Kardama was doing austerity and doing so much austerity, he could not succeed. Then he practiced the path of devotion and utmost surrender. And as a result, the Lord was pleased and appeared before him. So verse 9 says, pure and sun-like in brilliance, wearing garlands with white and blue flowers, having the blue and curly locks surrounding his forehead. They are all description of Lord Narayana, how beautiful, how his hair is curly, the face is beautiful, eyes are these, eyebrows are like that. A description of Narayana's beauty. Having blue and curly locks surrounding his forehead, wearing yellow cloth all over, having a diadem and earrings, holding in his hand conch, discus, mace, and a white clay lotus, Sankha Chakra Gada Padma, Narayana. having an expression and a smile on the face that bestow the highest joy on an onlooker. Seated on the back of Garuda, now the Narayana, Garuda Vahana. So Narayana is sitting on the back of a Garuda bird, Garuda bird, having Sri Mother Lakshmi on his chest and Kaustuva in his neck. Such was the divine form revealed to Kardama, who, overcome with joy and thankfulness, now fell prostrated before the Lord and sang as follows. So Kardama was doing austerity to have a progeny as ordered by Brahma, and he was doing austerities. Then he surrendered to Lord Vishnu, and by his grace he saw the Krishna, the Lord appeared. And when they appeared, so he naturally, Kardama started praising the Lord. 13 verse. And this praise goes on everywhere. We can skip them, but just one or two verses. By having the vision of your form, O unsullied purity and holiness, our eyes have today been learned the real purpose of existence. That means the eyes are satisfied today. You appeared before me. The purpose of eyes is to see God. So, what a fortune. My eye is satisfied, perfected. Yogis of high attainment long to gain this vision through practice of spiritual discipline for several lives. Your Maya must have indeed vitiated the intelligence of those who forget that your feet constitute the boat for crossing the ocean of samsara and adore you for the fulfillment of sensuous desires which one could have even in an animal body. So it is your inscrutable Maya. Yogis meditate upon you, and yogis are there for the attainment of their vision, and you are the help to cross the ocean of samsara. Your feet constitute the boat for crossing the ocean of samsara and adore you for the fulfillment of even the sensuous desires which human to animal everyone has. I am one of those ill motivated persons approaching your feet where one could get all desires as at the foot of the wish fulfilling tree. So I am praying, O Lord, you are the fulfiller of all wish fulfilling tree as it were. So I am Kalpataru tree. So I am praying to you. I desire to acquire a woman. What did see? Bhagavan, seeing the Lord Himself, is asking for a woman. This is called Maya. Because Brahma has asked him to create the world. No? So he's so much austerity. One thing to be understood. It is austerity they are doing to have a child. That means they purify themselves. They are not totally like the people who are addicted to sensuality. It is not like them. But it is by austerity, by Bhagavad Darshan, then they are getting their child. That's why they call
Bhagavad Darshan is
Prajapati.
Bhagavad Darshan is not cannot take you beyond Maya.
Yeah, but Bhagavad Darshan pore, everyone will say, I have seen you, I don't want anything else. He said, send me one woman. Okay. So now these are the things we understand. Bhagavad Darshan means you see. When you see, then it is in duality. No seeing, seer, seen, gone, that is the absolute state. But we cannot have that. But here this, from our perspective, if we see God, do you, Ramakrishna said, no? If you see God, then you will ask for mulo. Huh? You ask, you get when someone is very
Relish.
pleased, a billionaire is pleased with you and he wants to give you anything you like. Will you ask him one penny? It is like that. But that is the Maya. Ah, even asking vision of God, they got. That's a austerities he did, he concentrated, he prayed, he surrendered. All this practice portion is same. But the desire portion is different. You can desire for
That's Surata Samadhi.
read Surata and Samadhi. Good idea. Surata and Samadhi in the Chandi, Devi Mahatma. So, so Samadhi, he wanted to
Samadhi.
Samadhi. He wanted Samadhi. And Surata, I wanted to get by my kingdom. I'll rule the kingdom. Huh? The others cheated me and took away my kingdom. So, mother, bless me with power. I shall rule the world like that. One mother said, okay, Baba, you will rule the world. And somebody, what do you want? I don't want anything. Huh? So, you don't want to be blessed with the experience of what you call the samadhi. So this is the point. God gives both. So how to pray? There is a song. Rabindranath Tagore said, "আমি চাহিতে জানি না দয়াময়, আমি চাহি দ্বারা সুত সুখ সন্নিধান, তোমারে আমি তো চাইনে." Oh Lord, I don't know what to ask for. Huh? In foolishly, I ask you for petty things of the world. And I don't ask that I will be constant in presence with you, I will be totally absorbed in you. And this desire does not come. আমি চাহিতে জানি না, I don't know how to beg for your grace in my life. So this is a very interesting point that Kardama was a great person. He did austerities for several years. However, they don't do austerity one day, 2 days. You fast for one day. Today is what is called Ekadashi or something, or tomorrow is something. Ramakrishna's birthday. That is one thing. But in 10,000 years he did austerities first. And failing that, then he started, my mind become purified, and then he prayed to the Lord Narayana, and Narayana appeared with his wonderful and divine form. Anyhow, these are the underlying teaching behind all these stories. Desire can, the impact of desire is so deep. I desire to acquire a woman of suitable temperament and outlook as my wife. A woman I want who will be a kamadhan, that means bestower of felicities in the domestic life. Oh Lord, this desire infected world, this desire infected world is, it seems, bound by the commandments of you in your role as Prajapati de Brahma. Commandments in respect of paying the threefold debt of man in the three renas. It's called the three types of rin. One type, what is that? One, I too, following the way of the world, desire to make an offering to you of the debts, one of which is the begetting a present. So, what are the three rins? They were in Pitrin, Rishirin,
Really?
and Nirin, five. But here they are saying three. The three rins. I too, following the way of the wood, desire to make an offering to you, O Lord, of these debts. So, one of which is the having a child. Those who abandon worldly relationships and properties and seek the shelter of the umbrella of your feet and in the company of the devotees forget even their physical needs through absorption in conversation on and recital of your excellences, these are not destroyed by your swift moving will, uh, or by the time, with 13 months as his spokes, and the 360 days as his parts, the 6 seasons as its limbs, the countless moments as leaves embellishing it, and 3 periods of Chaturmasya is the how. He giving an example, they are in the wheel of birth and death. Those who don't uh, cannot, those who abandon worldly relationship, they don't come in the wheel of birth and death. That is the major 18 verse. 19. Though you are the only existence, you being desirous of creation, have assumed your Yogamaya, your Shakti, which though distinct is not separate from you. So Yogamaya, the Maya Shakti, is you, and you wanted this whole world to be created. That's why you are giving this desire in others. So you do project, sustain, and withdraw. Project, sustain, and withdraw the universe as a spider does its silken webs. And the spider make a web. So what they do, it projects, the spider projects this beautiful home for the spider to live, web, and he can also stay and can also withdraw. Only spider can do that when they're constructing the web, they can withdraw also that. Then God then, out of his own, Yatha Urna Nabi, our Upanishad says that this world is created like that. It came from God. It is in God and it is withdrawn into the God. So that is Shakti. That is the Shakti idea. O Lord, though you be averse to granting sensuous fulfillment to devotees prompted by worldly desires, still, in so far as you have adopted through your Maya a brilliant and limited form with the decoration of the tulasi and other items, it behoves you to grant all fulfillments that your devotees seek. You are God, Lord, you only want to give liberation. That is your only thing you want to give. But I am begging for you worldly thing. But you are the giver of all, and you are the giver of all devotion and fulfillment of all desires. You are, on the one hand, merged in your inherent bliss and unconcerned with the action, its fruits and enjoyments. And on the other hand, you, through Yogamaya, are carrying on all the activities of the world. In one sense, you are transcendental, you don't care for anything in the world. And in another sense, you are creating this diverse universe by your Maya, Yogamaya. By Yogamaya, you are creating your Maya. You are the only person. You don't want to give boon for worldliness. You want to give liberation only. But still, it's by your Yogamaya you have created this, and you have given these petty desires for the life to live on. You are the you are on the one hand merged in your inherent bliss in Satchidananda on the one hand, and in your inherent bliss and unconcerned in action. You don't care for what is going on in the world, creation, sustenance, destruction. Your transcendental reality. And on the other hand, through your Yogamaya, you are carrying on all the activities of the world. Thus, you are the Lord God of both the desirelessness and those who seek fulfillment of desire. Ah, you, in one hand, make everyone free from Maya, And you again, in another hand, catch everyone under the spell of Maya and give the desires for seeing and experiencing this world. I therefore bow down again and again to you, who are ready to be pleased even by a little striving on the part of man, and to shower on him all that he seeks. Therefore, I am praying. Well, this whatever prayer give me, that the Lord's commandments to the Kardama. This Kardama then is blessed by the Lord commanding, okay, your desire will be fulfilled. And he said how it will be fulfilled. Maitreya, who is the narrator, he said, Rishi, he says, to him who praised, to him who praised him, he means the Lord, with utmost sincerity, the Lord appeared in his luminous form on the back of Garuda, with a smile full of love and charm playing on his face. And the Lord said, what he said? Verse 23. Knowing even beforehand the desire with which you are practicing disciplines for my propitiation, I have already made arrangement for the same. Oh, you are doing austerity for something. What you are praying something in your heart of heart. You have the command from the Brahma that you will be the Prajapati, the Lord of the universe, and you will create your children so that the world will be livable. Now people are going to Mars, no, to make it livable. Probably they got order from Brahma. So, and they have giving so much budget of so many tons of money to make an arrangement to fly there. So I have already made arrangement for the same. O Prajapati, know for certain that concentrated and wholehearted prayer to me will never go unanswered. He's telling Kardama that you are the Prajapati now. It is one Manu, it's coming Manu's period of creation. So many Manus. So know for certain that concentrated and wholehearted prayer, if one does with concentrated mind and wholehearted mind, some prayer to me, the capital me, will never go unanswered. If you really sincerely, that's also another good thing for us. eh, That anyone who is sincerely praying anything, no boi jatu nisha evo sat pujakshaja madharanam moi samgriti atmatam. So, if anyone know for certain that a concentrated and wholehearted prayer to me, the capital me, Lord Narayana, will never go unanswered. It is even more certain that it will not be vain in the case of great devotees like you. And you are a great devotee. Anyone calls me with concentrated mind and devotion, I will fulfill his desire. You, what the question of you? You are the great Manu. You are becoming a Manu. Therefore, devotee like you. These are the response from Lord Narayana appearing before Kardama. The day after tomorrow, yeah. So I am pleased, I am happy. So I already know why are you doing austerities, and I have already arranged to fulfill your desire. So what? The day after tomorrow, there will arrive here, before you, to meet you, the Manu. You are a Manu. one of the Manu, Kardama is a Manu, famous for his goodness and learning, who ruled the sea girt earth at his capital in Brahmavarta. He will be accompanied by his wife Satarupa. So Satarupa will come with the, what is that, with tomorrow to meet you, the moon, with her husband. He will be accompanied by his wife. He will give in marriage to you, his daughter, handsome, young, good natured, for whom he has been seeking a suitable husband. Wow, what a prayer and what a fulfillment. Oh, Rishi, 28th verse. It says, O Rishi, O great Rishi, Narayana saying, no, to Kardama, the wife for whom you have been longing for all this time will come to you now. She will bear 9 daughters to you, and these will be married to other rishis who will beget children in them. That's what matters. The world is to be flooded with people. So Narayana prays for that. Brahma's duty to do that. So Brahma taught Kardama, hey, you do be like a Manu. And so, so she will have 9 daughters, 9 though, okay, have been longing for. She will bear 9 daughters to you. This your wife, you will get 9 children. And these 9 daughters will be married to different sages, rishis, who will have them child. Having fulfilled my commandment and having been purified by dedication of all actions to me, you will offer everything to me. Whatever you do, offer it to me. Gita's ideal. You will finally attain me. So you will not attain me finally. Now you have some desire. Now go to the fulfill that desire. You will have you married and you have 9 daughters, and then give them to the rishis, and then they will have their children, and then at the end you pray and do, and your mind is pure, then I will appear before you. Showing kindness to all beings and giving protection to all who have renounced the world, you will finally gain that knowledge by which you will see the whole universe, together your own self, is contained in me. Vishwarup Darshan. You will see that I am in my cosmic body, the whole creation is in me, including you. You and all the creation, all the children, everyone in me. Furthermore, I shall be born of you in your wife as a partial incarnation, Swayam Sakala. Swayam, Swayam, Swayam Sakala. Oh, I will be born as an incarnation also. Oh, Baba.
Kopi.
Ah,
Muni.
Kapil.
Mm.
Kapil Devahuti.
Kapil Gita also he wrote.
Ah, Devahuti Kapil. Baba, oof, what a problem of creation. Creation is also problem, destruction is also
Then
problem.
he will give all the advice to his mother about anti-women.
Oh, ma, is it?
Women, how bad women are.
Oh my God, I
The
should
Manu
not.
Sahita always.
Oh, that is here.
It will come. With Kapil Devahuti Sambad, his main theme is that.
Oh, ma, well, I
How
should not
bad?
read that. What is my business reading all this?
Even
Anyway,
more than one Manu man.
eh?
Not only one Manu, more than one. Two,
Monus,
yeah, not only one Manu.
ah,
9
Monu,
or 10 Manu.
10 Monu there. Acha, furthermore, I shall be born of you in your wife as a partial incarnation and propound a philosophy. Maitreya then said, having said to him this much, the Lord who shined before one Only when the senses becomes inwardly aware, disappeared from the ashrama called Bindu Saras, around which the river Saraswati flowed. So this Kardama was praying, he was doing austerity at that place called the Bindu Sara. And Mother Saraswati river was surrounding that ashram, around which the river Saraswati flowed. As Kardama watched, the Lord, praised by all Siddhas, went along the path to Vaikuntha. How he go? He cannot walk, no? So he had his vehicle. So Vaikuntha on his eagle vehicle, what is called Garuda. Garuda vehicle, the sound of which wings is the Rig Vedas, Rigs, which are the basis of the Samas. So the bird's wing flowing, no, created a noise and created the Rig Veda is created. And which is Rig Veda, which is the foundation of Sama Veda. So that means Narayana, a creation. So it is coming in the creation side. So Rig Veda, Sama Veda all came out as Lord Narayana left. Now Monu Swayambhu's visit to Kardama's ashram. Now, as predicted by the Lord, so now this Manu Swayambhuva is visiting the Kardama Muni's ashram. After 35 verse, after the Lord's departure, Kardama continued to live in the Bindusara, awaiting the marriage proposal mentioned by the Lord. Meanwhile, Manu Swayambhuva was traveling all over the country in a golden car along with his wife and daughter in order to find a suitable husband for the latter, arrived at the ashrama of the tranquil sage at Vindusara on the day appointed by the Lord. Now, now the Manu, what is Swayambhuva, he and his wife and the daughter, they came and arrived at the ashrama of Kardama's ashrama. And then, Satarupa. The place was called Bindusara because a teardrop of compassion of all pervading Lord fell at that place. Huh? Compassion. Out of compassion, Narayana gave bloom, and that's why that one drop of his compassion fell. That tirtha is called Bindusara. Bindusara is a holy place. Even now people can go. These are places still now available. Name is still there. It was surrounded by the river Saraswati, having very sacred, healthy, and sweet water, and forming a favorite resort of many holy men. That ashrama was full of warbling birds and animals of holy association, and was full of trees and creepers bearing flowers and fruits. And so the description of the sage Kardama's ashrama, beautiful trees, flowery trees, good fruits, and all the river flowing sweetly. The weather is very charming weather, so everything is good. It was the seat of all that wild beauty of a poor forest can offer. So wild forest, which is all beauty, is there. The solitude of that place was broken by the joyous cries of the birds. The birds started crying with joy. Why? By the inebriated humming of honeybees and by the sweet mating calls kokilas. The charming sight of peacock graced one's eyes everywhere. All beauty, beauty, natural beauty. Peacock with a feather turned like Vrindavan. So its beauty was enhanced by the presence of such trees as Kadamba tree, Champaka tree, Asoka, Karanja, Bakula, Asana, Kunda, Mandar, Kutaga, mango tree also. That means you can eat enough mango. You'll not be hungry. And all fragrant flowers, flowery trees. It was full of the delight of the chirping of the birds, like different birds, that very beautiful birds' name he has given. Karana Deva Plava Swan, Kuru Sarasa, etc. etc. The forest round about abounded in animals like deer, boar, white dog, uh, cow-like wild animals, elephants, lions, monkeys, etc. etc. Monu, the first in the kingly line, entered that hermitage which is retinue and saw the sage sitting there after his morning rites. So that day he saw that Monu came with his chariot, golden chariot, with his daughter and his wife, and entered into the hermitage of the Maitreya Rishi. Maitreya is sitting in after morning rituals, sitting there and meditating. Kordam, Kordam. 46. Lustrous because of his long and intense tapas, not to lean in spite of it because of the Lord's gracious glance falling on him, and of his having drunk the nectar of the Lord's speech through his ears, tall, endowed with eyes resembling the petals of a lotus flower, Kardama's beauty, and describing. Having matted locks and dressed in a single piece of cloth, he looked like a priceless but unpolished gem. Huh? He saw that the Kardama, so beautiful, with matted locks, eyes are bright like a lotus, God has blessed. So his every personality is a different personality. He then received with due, Kardama then received with due respect the king, who made prostrations and presented himself before him. After the king thus honored, seated and rested, Kardama began to talk to him very cordially, remembering the commandment of the Lord. Now he is talking to the Manu, Swayambhuva, who has come to meet the Kardama sage, Kardama. He said, Kardama said, O great king, your movements all over the country are for the protection of the good and the destruction of the evil. For you are an instrument of the Lord for working out the welfare of the world. Salutation to you, who are only a manifestation of the Lord, who assumed, according to the need of the time and situation, the form of the sun, moon, Agni, Indra, Varuna, Jama, Dharma, and others. I salute you, salutation to you, who are only manifestation of the Lord. You are Manu, you are the manifestation of God. And who assumed according to the need of time and situation the forms. You have taken the form of sun, moon, Agni, the fire, Indra, Varuna, water, Jama, Dharma, and others. A calamity it would have been if you were not frequently moving about like the sun in the sky in your resounding and bejeweled chariot with the loud twang of your bow and thundering sound of the trampling of your huge army, striking terror in the hearts of the evildoers. So you are a Manu. So your duty is to destroy the evil. So you are roaming around all over and you are watching who is doing wrong. You are creating terror for them. And otherwise, the barbarous and cruel men would have broken both in law and social order established by the Lord causing confusion everywhere. So Manus come to protect the God's creation. So your Swayambhuva Manu, so you are moving all around the heaven and earth eh, for the protection of the good and for the destruction of the evil. Therefore, 55 verse brought on by the sensuality and licentiousness of people, utter chaos would have been the result if you were inactive. The world would have remained in the hands of the barbarians. Yet, we would like to know what exactly is the mission on which you have now come. If you give us a clear idea of it, we can better follow your command. So he said, as if he does not understand anything, he said that, okay, now Swayambhuva, you are moving around the world. What is the cause? What is the need of your coming here? And you are here. And you have approached in my ashrama. Why have you come? Please tell me. Then we can understand what is the mission. Now the new chapter starts. That is the 22nd chapter, end of 21st chapter. So in 21st chapter, Kardama then got the vision of Lord Narayana and gave the blessings that the Swayambhuva Manu, he will come and he will have married her daughter. And then this way, actually, Swayambhuva Manu appeared and traveling all over with a golden chariot, with all beauty and grandeur, and here appeared in the ashrama, in the forest, beautiful forest with flowery trees, with fragrant flowers, with sweet mangoes, and all this. And then the Kardama, then with due respect, welcomed them, and then I talked. What is your mission? Please tell. That was the chapter 21. Now, chapter 22. Kardama's marriage with Devamti. So they will go on talking about how wonderful and this and that. Should we read that? Hmm? How much to read?
Marriage description.
Marriage description. I do not know what is the marriage description. The Manu's offer of Devahuti in marriage. To that ascetic Kardama, who thus spoke in praise of his acts and excellences, the king replied in an attitude of modesty. The king came with the wife and daughter. So the king then talked to Kardama. What he said? The Manu said, Brahma, the embodiment of the Veda, created you for his face, from his face for the propagation of the Vedas, endowing you with the traits suited for austerity, knowledge, worship, and the life of renunciation. That universal being with countless limbs created Kshatriyas out of his arms, the order to protect the Brahmana. Brahmana is his heart and Kshatriya is his limb. For this reason, the Brahmana and Kshatriya are protection to each other. It is the Lord Himself who protects the whole social order through the Brahmana and the Kshatriyas. By my very meeting with you, all my doubts have been cleared. For even without in my asking, you have enlightened me on the duties of one who has the task of governing and protecting the country. So he says, I am a king, I am a Kshatriya. So the Lord's creation to continue, there you need Brahmana and Kshatriya should be merged together. Because Brahmana is austerity, purity, love, all these things. Kshatriya, mighty power. That's why they said the universal God created countless limbs of the Kshatriyas out of his arms. How many? Strength. Arm is for power and work. To protect the Brahmana. So Brahmana should be protected by the Kshatriyas. Kshatriyas should protect the Brahmanas by mutual connection. This creation will continue and also its management will be run, best management will go. If it is by a rare good fortune that I have met you, who are not generally accessible to the people of uncontrolled mind and senses. It is an equally good piece of fortune that I have been able to touch the dust of your feet with my head. I am fortunate and blessed to be instructed by you. Fortunate am I to have taken in through my years the noble instructions imparted by you. I would, however, beseech you to hear my submission relating to the problem connected with my daughter, whom I love very much and about whom I am very much worried. This daughter of mine, who is the sister of Priyobrata and Uttanapada, is in search of a husband, and husband suited to her from the point of view of age, character, and temperament. Age, character, temperament. From the day she happened to hear the highly complimentary accounts of Narada about you, Narada told, huh? This is Narada is always like that. This says Narada went and told that there is a good guy. That guy can be your husband. So highly a complimentary account from Narada regarding your character, your knowledge of the Shastras, your beauty and form, your youthful age, etc. From that day, she recognized you in you, her husband. Therefore, O great Brahmana, deign to accept her, whom I offer to you as wife. She will be well matched with you in discharging all the duties of the household. The rejection of an object of utility that has come by itself to one unsought is not considered a virtue, even in a man of dispassion. And it is certainly not so in respect of a man who desires in his heart. So a man who rejects, that's it, don't reject my daughter. That's the point. Don't reject. I have heard that you are on the lookout for a proper match, being upo, upokurvan, being an upokurvan, or one who has decided to end the rule of celibacy after the study of the Vedas is over. So I request you to accept my daughter as wife, eh, this girl whom I offer to you. Bas. Then Kordama accepts it, and then we need not have to go through that. And then Swayambhuva returned. After getting them married, then Swayambhuva, mom and dad, they went back by their chariot to their home. As he traveled, Swayambhuva, as he traveled, he saw on both banks of the Saraswati River the hermitages of several ascetics, adding to the beauty of the sublimity of the place. It is said on the bank of Saraswati, there is a great civilization grew up. That is the Vedic civilization. And this is the proof that there are other sages. They are all sages meditating and absorbed in God consciousness. So, and when he was traveling back on the bank of the Saraswati, he saw the hermitages of several ascetics, adding to the beauty and sublimity of that place. The subjects of the emperor, hearing that he was coming, were overjoyed and come in numbers from Brahmavarta to receive him with a band and music. Manu's capital, Varshismati, in Brahmavarta, is the spot where the steep hairs of the cosmic boar fell when the Lord, in the form of fawn, shook his limbs. Where the great Swayambhuva Manu built a sacrificial altar with these kusha and kasha grasses worshipped by the Supreme Being. That spot is known as Brihaspati. These are different places of holiness. It is there. Those who go, they should know all these things. Anyhow, so last verse. In this way, he spent his life of 71 Chaturjugas, duration of one Manantar Baba. In this way, he spent his life at 71 Chatur Yugas. One Yuga means how many thousands of years, I do not know. Chatur Yuga, 4 Yugas. Spent like that, duration, one Manantara, mostly in spiritual preoccupation that are beyond the 3 parts of the waking, dream, and sleep. How can a devotee who has taken shelter at his feet be overcome by any of the affections relating to the body or mind, by the environment or enemies or by variations of temperature? Being interested in the welfare of all, he narrated in reply to the questions of the several rishis all the doubts pointed relating to the duties of the varnas and ashramas. I have narrated to you the sanctifying account of Swayambhuva Manu, the first king to rule the earth. Now hear about the unique doings of his daughter. Now Devahuti and Kardama in the aerial mansion. Hmm? Now marriage has been conducted and they have their mansion in the aerial mansion and in the space, Sargo. Devahuti's service to Kardama. That is one chapter. Then magical aerial mansion is created. Life of Devahuti and Kardama in the aerial mansion. And Devahuti's prayer to Kardama to stay on. That is. Then birth of Kapila and Kardama's departure. Another chapter. So we end here, we can end here. Huh? We have read up to the end of chapter 22 on page 245. Aerial mansion. Aerial mansion means what? Mansion in the air. After her parents returned, Devahuti was quick to divine the needs of her husband, served him with great enthusiasm as Parvati used to do for Shiva, Lord Shiva. Utmost attention, devoid of selfishness, ostentation, annoyance, greed, and pride, she served her husband. These are all to how Devahuti was so great and served her husband. And then he says, O daughter of Manu, I am highly pleased with your extremely devoted, loving, and respectful service you have been rendering to me. In your zeal of service, you do not care even for the preservation of your own health and other things. In order to please his wife, Kardama, by his yogic power, immediately brought into existence an aerial mansion which could travel into any region. Oh, aerial mansion means the whole house can move anywhere you like a big, what do you call, big airspace, airship, no? It can fly anywhere, it can land anywhere. It had facilities to provide all needs. There was a profusion of precious gems everywhere. All manner of opulence was in the evidence, including several pillars of precious stones. In that mansion, it is not an ordinary building only. That's all costly jewels and pearls and all these things. The mansion had in its numerous contrivances of unique nature, it was comfortable to stay in during all season. It was decorated with numerous flags, big and small. On all sides there was gardens, sweet smelling flowers with humming bees sucking honey in them. And there was an abundance of fabrics made of wool, linen, silk. In those days, wool was there, linen and silk was also there, hanging as a curtain and drapers therein. Big house, all the a description of the palace in which Devahuti one was flying with her husband, what is called Kardama. The doorways had coral thresholds, etc. Its wall made of diamonds. The images of several species of birds like swan, pigeon, kept there attracted similar birds with its hall of recreation, rest and revelry, with its courtyard, wall and lawn. The Bhimano astounded even Kardama, the master of all magical art. So, by his magic, he created this. And life of Devahuti and Kardama in the ideal mansion. How they are happy, that description goes one chapter. And Devahuti then prayed to Kardama to stay on. According to the stipulation at the time of his marriage, Kardama, having produced issues, was about to leave home to take up the life of a sannyas. That is the hermitage do. Four stages of life. So the third stage is over. So he wanted to, Kardama wants to leave. And Devahuti then says, uh, though distressed at his heart, the faithful wife Devahuti put on a smiling face, looking down in intense sorrow and drowning on the ground with her ruby like toenails and not description. She began to speak to her husband in her sweet voice, suppressing with great difficulty the tears that welled up in her eyes because husband wants to take the sannyasa now. No doubt you have fulfilled the promise you had made to me at the time of marriage, but still it befits you to grant a favor to me who has taken refuge in you. O great one, if you go away like this now, your daughters will have to find suitable husbands by themselves. Again, if you go away, there will be none to give me spiritual instruction to overcome samsara. So I wish for a son competent to do all that. I am very sorry indeed that owing to my desire for sense enjoyments, I have wasted this long period without trying to know the Supreme Spirit. Owing to my hankering after the life of the senses and without realizing that you are a knower of Atman, I associated with you. Yet, even that association at the sensual level will be a blessing to me. The association we seek in ignorance with worldly minded man leads to bondage to samsara. But the same association, if it is with holy man, leads to development of non-attachment. If one's action in the world do not lead to a life according to dharma, if one's observance of dharma does not lead one to dispassion, and if one's dispassion does not lead to the service of the Lord, that person is equal to a dead man, though living. I have indeed been deceived by the Lord's Maya. Woe unto me, what having come to me associated with one capable of giving liberation from samsara, I did not take advantage of that opportunity. So these are all Devahuti repented to her husband, don't go away, you stay with me little longer. That was. So we end here. That's so that Kopila will be born and then Kardama will depart. That will be the next story. That will be the chapter number 24. So we end here on page 250 and end of chapter 23. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Now we'll meet you again in the Shanti Gita class at 7:30 p.m. 7:30 Shanti Gita again. এটা বন্ধ করে দাও।